Velkommen til Under Kalotten. En podcast, som tager afsæt i relationen til Israel. Dette afsnit kommer til at stå i skyggen af krigen i Ukraine. ICEJ har gennem 30 år været repræsenteret i regionen og hjulpet jøder til at rejse til Israel. Af de 165.000 ukrainske jøder, som har rejst til Israel, har 50.000 af dem gjort det med hjælp fra ICEJ. Siden den russiske invasion af Ukraine 24. februar har 5.000 ukrainske jøder rettet henvendelse om hjælp til at komme til Israel. ICEJ har på krigens første 4 dage rejst over $300.000 til dette, penge som allerede er blevet aktiveret. Ligesom verden var ved at ånde lettet op efter 2 år med coronanedlukning og isolation, banker en ny udfordring på dørene hos det globale samfund. Ruslands invasion af Ukraine har sat hele verden på den anden ende. Alt imens den russiske hær indtager landet bid for bid, spørger eksperter og kommentatorer sig selv, hvor dette vil ende og hvor lang tid der vil gå, før verden er tilbage til før den 24. februar 2022. I Ukraine bliver den demokratisk valgte præsident Volodymyr Zelensky stemplet af sin modpart som nazist. Dette bliver sagt til trods for, at han er jøde. Zelensky er ikke kun jøde, han er Ukraines første jødiske præsident. Det er ellers ikke med den 300.000 personer store jødiske minoritetsgruppes velsignelse, at han stillede op til præsidentvalget og vandt. Hverken religiøse eller sekulære jøder var interesserede i det lys, de kunne kaste på dem, for hvem de smertefulde minder om tsariske pogromer og holocaust stadig er meget levende. Ukraine har den største messianske kirke og nogle af de største synagoger i verden. Det jødiske samfund i Ukraine er meget aktivt. I dag skal vi høre fra 3 medarbejdere i ICEJ, som arbejder tæt sammen med det jødiske samfund, både i Rusland, Ukraine og øvrige østeuropæiske nationer. Først skal vi høre fra Serguei Popov, som er opvokset i Rusland, i dag bor i Finland, men har sit arbejdsfelt i ICEJ med russiske og ukrainske jøder, som blandt andet ønsker at flytte til Israel. Om den aktuelle situation siger han:
First of all, I would like to tell that 23rd of February, the Russia celebrate the Day of Red Army. You know, it's a national day when the ladies sent a present to the men's. They call it was coming tradition from Soviet Union. So it's Day of Red Army. Now they change name, like it's Day of Country Protector or something like that. But anyway, like it's Men's Day. So it's next day, 24th today, they start this war. It's everything has a spiritual meaning, and I know what information I told Jürgen, that last more than half a year, Putin and his Minister of Defense Shoigu really involved in shaman worship. And I think that background of all this conflict, I don't want to, everything, that it's first of all spiritual, and then it's coming to physical. Today is a situation like that Ukraine attacked from Belarus, from the north. From the south, it's from Odessa, is blocked by Russian fleet, and from east, from the separatist republics, like they call independent republic. So it's from third side, and from west even. It is one separatist region was made by Russia 30 years ago in Moldova called Transnistria. And they have an Air Force base, and now airplanes coming from there. So actually, Ukraine in the ring. It's a ring. Of course, it's some corridors around to Moldova and to Romania, but situation is very serious. And I would like just to encourage you to pray. Of course, it is spiritual warfare, but secondly, it will affect, unfortunately, all of us. When you are sitting in far away, and if Russia will be succeed, it will be very bad example for China and from other countries that you can do it without any moral rules. And last maybe year, I feel it especially because I'm watching Russian media. It was so much lie. It's incredible. Lie and brainwash of public. So it looks like for me it was same like a Hitler time when the brainwash of a great nation of Germans. So it's a lot of people in Russia really believe they do a good thing to kill people of other nations, which is brothers, have almost same language, and they understand each other. And we have to pray that God change mind, give wisdom to leaders, not make a division between each other, but found a way how they can stay against it. Because it's against all of us, all the churches. And I have examples that when the Russian troops come to the separatist area in eastern Ukraine, they first of all they destroyed churches of special Protestant churches. And I have pictures and witnesses that in some churches they put in cross instead of cross machine gun. And it's horrible. So, and if you realize how many churches in Ukraine and how it was real revival there, maybe not like we expect it might be, but it was for these years of freedom, opened many churches. And this is really danger for believers, because what they do, they accept only Orthodox Church and they destroy all the other Protestant church. So I want to ask you to pray especially about our brothers and sisters who Protestant churches. There are a lot of them, Messianic churches, Protestant churches, then all other churches, and even Ukrainian Orthodox Church, they will be punished, because Putin already said that we brainwash Ukrainian nationalistic spirit. So it's mean they need to kill millions of people, and if it's will, I'm sure God will not allow it. But we need again prayer support for this. All what's face maybe tomorrow and next week it will be crucial. The propaganda is told that all Protestant Christian church associated with the Western culture, so they put real Christian people who believe in God, that they are part of political system of Western countries. And this is a lie, and this is not true, because they are being Bible not commands from any Western politician. And they not supported, if they supported by some money supported, doesn't mean that they are like agent of Western politician system.
Mojmir Kallus er vicepræsident i ICEJ og kommer fra Tjekkiet. Han kan fortælle om, hvordan angrebet af Ukraine er en identisk gentagelse af den russiske invasion af Tjekkoslovakiet i august 1968, da han var en lille dreng.
I will start with a very personal recollection. I was 6 years old when the whole country of Czechoslovakia woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of military jets and tanks rolling in the streets. It was the 21st of August 1968, and that was the time when Russia offered so-called brotherly assistance, which means that they invaded an independent country with the sole reason that Czechoslovakia at that time tried to pursue a relatively independent policy. And this is exactly, it's really chilling to see how exactly the whole pattern is copied. There had been military maneuvers near the borders of Czechoslovakia. The troops remained there for a few weeks, and then they invaded from all sides. And so we see the same happening, and we see it for the very same reason, because the only crime of Ukraine was to try to pursue independent policy. And we see from this that whether it is called the Soviet Union, or it is Russia, or it was the Tsarist Russia, it is the same pattern repeating over centuries. And it reveals this imperialist spirit of Russia trying to dominate others. And It is spread through lies and violence, and I think we have to first of all speak the truth and stand against the spirit of the one who we know where the inspiration comes from. The devil is coming only to destroy, lie, and steal. And unfortunately, the current ruler is just another incarnation of those evil people who have sown havoc all around in many nations around Russia. So this is my take on it.
Howard Flower bor i St. Petersborg i Rusland og er dybt engageret i at hjælpe russiske og hviderussiske jøder tilbage til Israel. Ligeledes er han med til at støtte unge russiske jøder til at komme på studieophold i Israel. Som amerikaner bosat i Rusland i over 30 år, har han en særlig indsigt i, hvad der rører sig i landet.
First of all, I just want to mention that I have a big burden for our Ukrainian branch, the branch leader, Pastor Valery Alayev, and Bishop Commandant, and all the other wonderful brothers and sisters, and that all 500 of us today would lift up that prayer to them, to the Lord, to ask that He would pour out His Spirit upon them for comfort, for wisdom, for strength, and for courage to go through this difficult time. This morning, things really changed, Jürgen. And Nicole reached out to the Jewish Agency, and they finally gave us a definite request on how we can help in Western Ukraine. And it looks like right now the only way out of the country is to Poland and some of the other countries in the West. The embassy of Israel has been moved to the city of Lviv, and the Jewish Agency has evacuated most of their people, with the exception of the flight group team who's still in Kiev. So the government of Israel is trying to open a passage, a new path in the wilderness, which is a term that we've often heard, to get people out to the west to safety in Poland. The 82nd Airborne has deployed 3,800 men in the airport about an hour from Lvov across the border, and this airport could be used for Israeli airplanes to come and pick people up, and they would be well covered. But all this is in flux, and we're not exactly sure what is going to happen. I'm in the St. Petersburg office, which we opened years ago, and people in Russia are also stunned what's happening. They don't know what to think. They're not allowed to think very much, and no one could imagine that would happen. But we're ready to react, and we're ready to help.
Det er muligt at være med til at hjælpe jøder med at rejse ud af Ukraine og til Israel ved at donere. Det kan gøres via ICEJ's hjemmeside på icej.dk/doner. Mærk gaven Ukraine. Det sproglige hjørne.
Shalom og velkommen, hvor vi i dag skal snakke lidt om den 9. bogstav, bogstavet teth, eller tæt. Bogstavet tæt, som svarer til det danske T. Der er 2 bogstaver, som giver den T-lyd, som vi også kender på dansk, og det er teth, og det er tav, som er det sidste bogstav i alfabetet. Det kommer vi ind på en anden gang. Oprindeligt var bogstavet teth et billede af en lerkrukke, eller en beholder af en slags. Altså teth, yud, teth betyder ler på hebraisk. Så det har måske noget med en beholder at gøre på en eller anden måde. På hebraisk har bogstaverne talværdi, og bogstavet teth har talværdien 9, og det er der mange, der bruger til at sige, at det har noget at gøre med potentiale, at bogstavet har noget med potentiale at gøre, fordi for eksempel så, når et nyt liv bliver til i mors mave, så tager det jo 9 måneder. Et interessant ord, som indeholder bogstavet teth, det er mate, som betyder stav. Og stav er et vigtigt ord på hebraisk. Vi kender det fra beretningen om Moses, der havde en stav, som ligesom udtrykte Guds kraft og lederskab. Med staven, der lavede Moses de mirakler, som i den sidste ende gjorde, at farao var nødt til at give slip og lade israelitterne gå ud af Egypten. Men mate betyder også stamme, så hver stamme havde ligesom en stav, og Det kan også betyde en gren, og det lærer os, at lederskab, ligesom en gren skal være forbundet til træet, så skal lederskab også være forbundet med Kristus for at være livgivende og være sandt lederskab. Så det synes jeg er en interessant lille detalje. Gud velsigne dig. Shalom.
Du har lyttet til en podcast fra ICEJ Danmark. Ønsker du at vide mere om organisationen, kan du gå ind på icej.dk. Her er der også mulighed for at støtte organisationens arbejde og denne podcast.